challenges that has been leveled at the Occupy movement has been that, this is a messageless movement. People ask you, what is your message? What are your demands? And because of the process in many Occupy protests and Occupy encampments that's been put in place, you don't have, there isn't necessarily one coherent ask or a set of demands. And that's been hard for people to deal with. So one of the goals of this workshop is to have you start thinking about what are, how do you, what are you about? And how do you tell that to a reporter in 15 seconds or less? So, what are the values of your movement and of Occupying New Hampshire? So I think we want to open it up to folks.
And I'll be writing down your, figure out how you can express that in 15 seconds. Is that our goal?
Yeah, I think let's just brainstorm and then work through it. Okay. So, does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think that the core message of my movement is that we would like to see people working on solutions rather than punishing people.
Okay. So solutions instead of punishment. All right. Anybody else?
To remove money out of politics, and a lot of these issues, smaller issues, and even big ones, will trickle down working out with that. So removing money out of politics.
So no money in politics. And I saw a bunch of, agreement hands. I call
Yeah.
agreement hands.
Twinkles.
Happy
Everybody
hands.
has hands.
So lots of twinkles on that one.
Oh, that's another good one. They say we're a cult.
You're
Yeah.
what?
They say we're a cult.
Oh, for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the people's mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you look at the definition of cult, and its basicness is a group of organized people, kind of start looking at a lot of other things that would fall under cult.
Right, like the Democratic or Republican Party.
Like religious churches and stuff.
Handshake.
Well, let's keep going on this. What are some other values that embody, that are part of Occupying New Hampshire? Yes.
Nonviolence.
Nonviolence. Any others?
Nonpartisan.
Nonpartisan. Nonpartisanship.
Yeah.
Democratic.
Democracy.
Yes.
Small d.
Yeah, small d.
Yeah.
Green.
So it's in
Alternative
environmental justice.
Accountability.
Yes.
Yeah. Any others?
Responsible.
Responsible what?
Taking responsibility for our own lives and our own future.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually an interesting one because that's not something that you hear in the castle a lot.
So to build up the accountability one, I think I would throw out there being against hypocrisy.
No hypocrisy?
People over businesses.
Okay.
What do we say? People over corporations.
Or people over profits.
People over profits.
Corporations are people too.
Yeah, that's why we say profits.
Social justice.
Social justice? Okay.
Workers.
Let's give you a chance to catch up.
So
It was people over profits, and then
Social justice.
social justice.
And now it seems like the media is spinning social justice like it's a bad thing. It's almost like you have to find another way of saying social justice, so they're not like, ooh, it's one of those buzzwords. I know
Yeah.
people who think it is.
I think it's a bad word.
Transparency.
Transparency.
Did you say that already?
No, we didn't say it, but
not for this list.
well, accountability. The transparency and accountability are kind of a pair. They're not the same thing.
Workers' rights.
Workers' rights.
Part of democracy is being non-hierarchical.
So equality.
Well, it's more than just equality. It's a matter of participation
Leaderless?
and horizontal structures, as opposed to hierarchical structures,
What about
or
engagement?
top-down structures, or authoritarian structures.
I would actually throw in respect in there too. To build up that thought.
Yeah, I think horizontal is important because people have used that as a descriptive term for occupying.
Yeah.
Horizontal.
Or
Horizontal is.
Because democracy could be perceived as what we want to achieve in like the economic and political system,
Yeah.
like democracy, but like horizontal is our internal structure.
I like the word circular democracy because everyone just stands in a circle. No one's more.
I think it's horizontal and something that's circular, but
I think I read that in ancient Greece, individuals were appointed to various offices for certain terms, so it wasn't like you ran, it's kind of like jury duty. It was like, okay, you're up there, it's time, it's your
right,
turn.
right.
Yeah, but that was only for the wealthy.
Yeah.
For slaves.
It really needs to come from office, you would disenfranchise.
Your turn.
Democracy except for you, you, and you. You're excluded.
Respect, yes. Stick it on the
Going on
side.
top.
Non-violent, respectful.
Yeah, we got nonviolence.
I actually throw respect onto the democracy tab too.
Yeah.
So is it respect for difference? Or is
Respect
it
towards basic human dignity. I think treating other people who are not necessarily like you or who are not necessarily in your own interest with the same level of respect that you would treat somebody like yourself.
Okay.
Is there room for the First Amendment up there?
The what?
First Amendment?
No, I don't believe it is.
Civil liberties.
Respect for
common humanities? Is that?
Well, that's just making it kind of
That
shady
sounds
here,
like a
Judy.
buzzword.
Yeah.
Respect for.
Respect for rights, I would say.
Okay.
Respect for the rule of law.
Yeah.
No one's above the law.
Because respect for human dignity and respect for the rule of law might not be exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think have respect for human dignity, is that?
I actually go with human rights.
Respect for
Okay.
human rights, okay.
Would be more specific than dignity.
Does that fall under the First Amendment for you, or should we also list that?
That's fine.
Okay.
I think civil rights are different, like from human rights, because like just the basic right to eat and like have food is different from the right to speak out and assemble and share your ideas.
So that sort of that's the human, so sort of the human rights paradigm. That's the UN human rights paradigm, which is everybody
Even
has a right.
constitutionally as well.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll kind of put a star by human rights then.
I'd say that a good number of people are probably anti-consumerist. That's probably a value that they hold.
I would disagree with that. It isn't about consumerism so much as it's about greed. You know, like we all consume whatever it is that we consume.
Well,
We
speaking of
buy that.
consumption, I think
Materialism
Speaking of
is-
pizza.
Or I'd say anti-corporate domination, because I mean, if you talk to the libertarians and you talk to the people I've seen, a lot of occupies, it's like an anti-corporate message, or like fundamentally reforming corporations, something along those lines. But there is definitely some anti-corporate domination going on there.
But we support small businesses.
Yeah, we support small businesses over the mega
change
corps.
it to like economic justice or economic fairness?
Fair
I
trade.
mean, ultimately, do we want to eradicate all corporations? I mean,
No.
you know,
It all
just
depends
saying
on how you
like,
define corporation.
we want to have economic fairness. We don't want to abolish corporations, do we?
And back to accountability.
Yeah, as long as they play by the rules, fine.
To expand on the responsibility idea, we take responsibility for ourselves, but we also want to enforce responsibility on other people. To take that idea further, speaking for myself, I'm not opposed to someone making a pile of money. I am opposed to someone making a pile of money by victimizing other people.
What about saying taking responsibility for our communities?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can say
We
that.
all have roads that we want to drive on. We all have schools that we want to go to. You know.
I think education is a good value to have up there.
Yeah.
I've heard it called the movement of mass education.
What about awareness?
Consciousness raising.
Consciousness raising?
Yeah.
Yeah, awareness, that's a huge one.
Creating mass awareness. Yeah.
It's like it's tied up with narrative, like changing the narrative.
And that's why it's been called the Democratic Awakening, because so many